Hello children, I apologise for taking so long to make this second video, but I've just completed a set of 4 very brutal night shifts, so please go easy on me. Hope your revision's going well so far, and here is how to pass MRCP Part I in just 8 weeks, and this will be week 2 as I've promised. So as you may recall from my previous video, the number 1 reason for failing MRCP Part I is poor time allocation. It's very common sense that spending 15 hours on endocrinology but only spending 5 hours on cardiology would be a recipe for disaster. This next slide is just to remind you that the technique of revising 2 hours a day should still be your aim. Now this 2 hours is split into the first 90 minutes where you're critically reading and thinking about guidelines and textbooks and tackling practice questions. This is then followed by 30 minutes of watching videos either on YouTube or past test when your motivation is at its lowest. Of course, if you can manage more than this, by all means be my guest, but the quality of revision is so much more important than the quantity, and I can't stress this enough. In week 1, hopefully you managed to cover 30 marks, so you should have spent approximately 15 hours revising cardiology, hematology and oncology. This week, however, I'd like you to cover 39 marks, which should take you just under 20 hours. You'll be covering dermatology, pharmacology and toxicology, and also endocrinology, and should divide the 20 hours accordingly. Now initially you might feel that this is impossible, but trust me, you're much more capable than you think. And remember that nothing worth having ever comes easy, so put your head down and just get through this week. Now I'm sure after I said that, most of you were like, it's easy for you to say. But just before I go, I wanted to introduce the Anki technique to you. This was actually the technique I used to pass MRCP Part I on my first attempt. Now the Anki is a free software that you can use online where you create virtual flashcards to assess your knowledge. As you can see from the simple example from the screenshot of my iPad, why don't you pause the video and try and answer this question in your head? Now whilst you're thinking, research has shown that memory is consolidated when you forget and then subsequently remember information. Now it is this forgetting via spaced repetition that places info into our long-term memories. Now what do I mean by spaced repetition? Well, as you can see from this next slide, if you manage this question, you simply click easy and the software will ask you the same question in approximately 4 days. Now this space or gap will get increasing larger the more times you get the question correct. And the same goes for any question that you answer incorrectly. Anki will ask you the same question less than 1 minute later if you click on soon, for example. Now making an entire deck of flashcards can be quite tedious and also time consuming, so you can simply copy and paste into the software as I have done here from a reputable website such as Past Medicine or even GP Notebook. The beauty of Anki is that once you have your deck of 50 cards for that specialty, revision becomes very active and also very efficient. So what do I mean by active? Passive revision is all those times we read paragraphs of text but cannot remember what we've read soon after. By spending less time on easy questions and more time on the difficult ones, this is a super efficient way to study. Now needless to say, spaced repetition is also free, environmentally friendly and very practical, as you can even add diagrams and even pictures, which can be very useful for subjects like dermatology. So to summarise, in week 1, hopefully you managed 15 hours, whilst this week you need to put in 19.5 hours of work. Do give Anki a try and let me know if it works for you. Hey guys, so I hope that video was very useful towards your revision, and just to let you know before I go, I've started creating monthly newsletters packed full of useful tips for passing MRCP and also improving your financial life. Make sure you subscribe to UK Doctor on Fire as these are exclusive newsletters only available to my subscribers. The link is in the description below. Now, to support this channel, I would encourage you to take advantage of the free 30-day Audible trial, where you can get a free audiobook using the link in the description below. If you don't like the service, you can easily cancel anytime and still keep your free book. Reading will always positively impact on your chances of succeeding in life, and I really can't stress this enough, but that's another video for another day. Anyway, I've talked enough, so good luck, and I hope to speak to you very, very soon.